You've been sold a lie, a dangerous one. The world told you, be the alpha male, be the strongest in the room, never cry, never show weakness, never stumble. You're supposed to dominate, you're supposed to conquer, you're supposed to wear the crown. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. That crown, it's heavy, and behind closed doors, it's crushing men. We live in a world where millions of men are wearing a mask. On the outside, confident, unshakable, untouchable. On the inside, exhausted, insecure, and quietly falling apart. And every day, men are breaking under the weight of an image they were never meant to carry. Because the alpha male, that whole idea you've been chasing, is a myth.
The whole alpha male concept is a myth. There is no battle between two wolves to see who's going to lead the wolf pack. From a human standpoint, the alpha wolves are those that are married. Your whole embodiment is to please women, from the glasses to the cigars, to the big Bugattis, to the Ferraris, to the shoes, to the clothes. But yet you're the alpha, but yet your whole life is geared around pleasing women. And we don't see it because we've been conditioned to believe that we are to lead by intimidation. Those aren't the greatest leaders. If that was the case, we would have great peace in this world. So I lead by example, not intimidation. And that's why it's important, especially for our young brothers. I had made an acronym for the word thug, which is a traumatized human unable to grieve. And so that's why if I step on your shoe, you're ready to hit me or pull your gun out and shoot me. Why you can't take disrespect, you can't even process it to keep yourself in an advantageous position. Now you do something, you react instead of respond. Now you like this and the police taking you away.
For decades, we've been told that to be a man means to be dominant, aggressive, and detached. That showing your feelings makes you soft. That asking for help makes you weak. That rest is laziness. But that lie has done nothing but create a generation of men who feel like failures. Because no matter how strong you are, no matter how much money you make, no matter how many women you attract, you will never be enough for an image that was never real. And you know it. And that's why you're here. You feel the gap between the man you are and the mask you've been told to wear. And deep down, you're tired. Not tired in your body, tired in your soul. This is where the truth begins. Here's what Jason Wilson teaches. True masculinity isn't about being alpha. It isn't about dominance. It isn't about control. It's about balance. It's about becoming a comprehensive man. A man who can fight when it's time to fight, but who can also embrace when it's time to embrace. A man who provides, but who also nurtures. A man who leads, but who also listens. This is the truth about being a man. You don't have to fit into one narrow box. You are allowed to be all of it.
When a man always says, I'm good, nothing's wrong, that's a warning. If someone dies, we hug each other and say, stay strong. So subconsciously, we're programming each other that when we feel weak, we're not men. And say that weakness, that time is meant for us to rest and recover. Rest is not weakness or something that makes you milk sop as a man. It's a restoration of strength. But if we don't feel loved, only appreciated for what we do, and then what's even deeper, if we don't love ourselves, to many of us, we feel that we're only going to find rest when we're resting in peace. Why go to the doctor? All I do is work. Why would I want to prolong my life here? A workhorse. I don't want to be a workhorse. I want to be a racehorse that can finish this journey, and along that journey, I'm taking care of myself. But most men are just workhorses, and when it's time for them to be done, they're off in the pasture alone, suffering in their silence, not feeling valuable because their whole time existing, they were doing.
ask him, how are you really doing? Intently look into his eyes and hold his hands. How can I support you? I received a call from a close friend just 2 days ago, and it still affects me right now. He had told me for the first time in his life, he looked at his gun and considered taking his life. And I said, why hadn't you called me? He says, man, I know you got a lot going on as well. And so as men, we're so used to wearing the facade. When you see him, he's the most joyous man you'll ever meet. You would never think anything is wrong. But inside, there's so much trauma. And because we're taught that don't cry, stay strong, your family needs you, we're like, well, I need somebody. And then we believe that we're alone. That's the biggest lie we could ever believe, because you put men in a room alone, they open up and start sharing the heaviness that they've been carrying.
Listen to those words. Rest. Not just sleep, not just 8 hours under a blanket. Rest for your soul. Because men today are not just tired. We are weary. Weary of pretending. Weary of always being the one to fix everything. Weary of hiding our pain.
And here's the paradox. You've been told rest is weakness, but rest is what makes you unstoppable. Because when a man learns to rest, he learns to heal. And when he heals, he becomes whole. And a whole man, that is the most powerful force on earth.
This is the transformation from alpha to comprehensive, from mask to man.